FIA President Mohammed bin Salem fires yet another official from the organization, and this time it is the head of sustainability, diversity, and inclusion. James Vowles extends his contract with Atlassian Williams Racing, which means that in a few seasons of time, this team is going to be at the front of the field. And by the time Carlos Sainz will probably leave the team, because that's kind of the Carlos Sainz cycle. Isack Hadjar has recently made his first appearance in Beyond the Grid podcast, where he talks about his goals for the 2025 season and beyond. There are a lot of interesting things to unpack here, and then McLaren team principal Andrea Stella offers some explanation as to why the two drivers, Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, failed to dominate the Canadian Grand Prix despite having the fastest car. But the first thing is the FIA restructuring. So basically, Sara Mariani, who used to be the head of sustainability, diversity and inclusion for 18 months, she has been fired. Fired is actually not the correct term. She has been affected by the organizational restructuring. She has been laid off, which is basically fired, but these days we are not allowed to say it. And this is the note that she wrote. There is a life outside the FIA, a life where talent and dedication are rewarded, where women in leadership positions can thrive, feel valued and respected. So there are some allegations of sexism in the FIA by the former head of sustainability and diversity and inclusion director. She needs to update her LinkedIn page because she's been fired. You have been laid off. It says December 2023 to present, not present anymore. So instead of her, so basically what happened is FIA dissolved that division of sustainability, diversity and inclusion, and it is now separated to two other people. So one person is William Groenewald and the other person is the senior human resources director Alessandra Malhame. Basically, I think it's a cost-cutting decision. She's being a little bit hysterical over here. There is no sexism because this person, Alessandra Malhame, is a woman herself. It's just about reducing the headcount and making sure that FIA has more money by letting go of the useless positions where people just come around, eat donuts and do nothing. So the next piece of news is actually an exciting one, which is James Vowles. We knew this was gonna come. This was inevitable based on what he has done from 2023 all the way to 2025. This was inevitable. If the owners of this team did not sign or extend James's contract for the future, they're probably dumb and need to be fired. Good things, the team is now undergoing a phase of stability and growth, and this season has been phenomenal for these guys so far. Alexander Albon is on fire, especially on the radio. So I guess in the near future we will see Williams Racing going to the front of the field. I hope it happens, especially after 2026. It's going to reset the things, and I hope these are the guys who win out because they are the underdogs. They have been the underdogs for a long period of time. James Vowles is a G. The way he explains things is just it's beautiful to listen to James and his passion for motorsport, and he has been a legend in Mercedes and helped, take forward their dominance era, the Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg, Valtteri Bottas dominance era. So he is the right man for the job. Good decision. That's all I want to say. Now, this is an interesting thing because Isack Hadjar wants to learn in 2025. His goal is not to go to Red Bull. He said that he himself is not confident that he can extract the maximum performance out of the Red Bull, and it's a wise decision. His goal for 2025 is to continue to stay at Racing Bulls and continue to learn. And I think Red Bull probably don't want another sacrifice to Max Verstappen because, look, Yuki Tsunoda's contract ends in 2025 and it's okay. They can afford to lose that. He is an expendable thing. Now, Liam Lawson, his confidence was destroyed after the first two races in the 2025 season, and they don't want Isack Hadjar to go through the exact same thing, especially when Hadjar is gaining some momentum. He started off the season in a difficult way. He DNF'd by crashing on the formation lap in the Australian Grand Prix, but after that, he has regrouped, he has understood the car better, and now he's extracting more and more performance out of it. He is consistently qualifying into Q3, and he is consistently, reliably in the mix for points. He didn't score any points in the Canadian Grand Prix, but he qualified P9. He had that 3-place grid penalty for which he started B12, so probably that's why he couldn't convert that amazing qualifying lap into points. But this guy is on fire. The best rookie, arguably, in the 2025 season. Tell you what, another amazing thing that this guy has going on for him is that he has only a 1-year contract with Red Bull, which means his contract, just like Yuki Tsunoda's contract, expires at the end of 2025. So, if he performs phenomenally, hopefully there's a crazy race and Isack Hadjar gets on the podium, something like that, some crazy shit happening. Then if other teams get interested in him, boom, get the fuck out of there, man. Red Bull family is horrible. They will just consume you. It's always better to keep your options open. Maybe go to Cadillac, who the fuck knows. Final piece of the news is that Andrea Stella has explained that the McLaren MCL 39, they have a weakness. And the weakness comes from low speed corners and where there's a lot of braking and traction. These are the tracks in which they typically struggle. And I call bullshit to this because they have had a 1-3 in Monaco Grand Prix. Lando Norris won from pole position and Oscar Piastri was P3, this guy. So I call bullshit in the sense that these guys are slow in, like a lot of chicanes and hairpins and where there are a lot of bumps on the tracks and low speed corners. I call bullshit. The thing is, these guys, the drivers of McLaren, they fail to extract the maximum out of the car. I think we have seen it before. And we can see the evidence of it from the 2025 Japanese Grand Prix qualifying session. Max Verstappen put that car on pole, while Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris struggled to compete against Max Verstappen. And the interesting thing is, Piastri and Lando, they don't want to push the car into its unstable phase, right? But Max Verstappen loves to do that because that's where the car is the fastest. So it's not because the car has a weakness in low speed corners and where there's a lot of braking and traction. It's just the fact that these drivers are still growing. They still need to find more performance out of the car. They still need to be more confident in handling the car when it's unstable, when it's vibrating or whatever it is, whatever type of instability emerges out of Formula 1 cars. They need to be okay with that. So I guess we will see in the upcoming Grand Prix. I hope Red Bull ships some upgrades to Max Verstappen because right now Piastri dominance is going to bore fans because Lando Norris is going to take himself out of the championship equation. He has done very well in Canada and I'm pretty sure he's not going to turn this downward spiral, at least mentally for him, into an upward spiral magically. So I guess we will see how Lando bounces back in the Austrian Grand Prix. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.